Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisance of Glitcheshwar Prabhupada. Welcome devotees to our morning Bhagavatam class. This morning we continue with Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 19, Verse 8. And the chapter is entitled The Appearance of Srila Shukadeva Goswami. We are in the beginning of the pastimes of about to hear the appearance of Sukadeva Goswami. I will start with the invocation prayers and request devotees to join if you can. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana Yashodanandana Prajajanaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Nitai Gaura Haribol, Haribol. Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Jayam Vishnupat Paramhamsa Parigvacharya Stotra to Shri Srimad His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupat Paramhamsa Parigvacharya Stotra to Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nanta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Maipur Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I will chant the verse 3 times and I request devotees to please chant after me. Tatro Pajagpur Bhuvanam Punana Mahanubhava Munaya Sasasya Prayena Tirtha Bigama Padeshai Swayam Hitirtani Punati Santa Tatro Pajakmur Bhuvanam Punana Mahanubhava Munaya Sashusya Prayena Tirthabhigama Padeshai Swayam Hitirtani Punanti Shanta Tatro Pajakmur Bhuvana Punana Mahanubhava Munaya Sasasya Prayena Tirtha Bigama Padeshai Swayam Hi Tirtani Punanti Shanta.
Tato pajagmu bhavanam punana mahanubhava munaya sasishya Payena tetya bhigama padeshay Swayam hitirtani punanti santa. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
तत्रोर्पजग्मुर्भुवनं पुनाना महानुभावा मुनया सशिष्यः प्रायेण तीर्थाभिगमोपदेशः स्वयं हि तीर्थानि पुनन्ति सन्तः हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna.
तत्रोपजग्भुर्मवनं पुनाना महानुभावा मुनयः शिष्याः प्रायेण तीर्थाभिगमापदेशे स्वयं हि तीर्थानि पुनन्ति सन्तः हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Anyone else would like to try? Okay, we'll go for the word-for-word translation. Tatra, there. Upajagmu, arrived. Bhuvanam, the universe. Punana, those who can sanctify. Mahaanubhava, great minds. Munaya, thinkers. Sasasya, along with their disciples. Prayana, almost. Tirtha, place of pilgrimage. Abhigama, journey. Apadeshai, on the plea of. Swayam, personally. He, certainly. Tirthani, all the places of pilgrimage. Punanti, sanctify. Santa, sages. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. At that time, all the great minds and thinkers, accompanied by their disciples and sages, who could verily sanctify a place of pilgrimage just by their presence, arrived there on the plea of making a pilgrim's journey. Purport. When Maharaj Parikshit sat down on the banks of the Gangas, the news spread in all directions of the universe, and the great-minded sages who could follow the importance of the occasion all arrived there on the plea of pilgrimage. Actually, they came to meet Maharaj Parikshit and not to take a bath of pilgrimage, because all of them were competent enough to sanctify the places of pilgrimage. Common men go to pilgrimage sites to get themselves purified of all sins. Thus, the places of pilgrimage become overburdened with the sins of others. But when such sages visit overburdened places of pilgrimage, they sanctify the places by their presence. Therefore, the sages who came to meet Maharaj Parikshit were not very much interested in getting themselves purified like common men, but on the plea of taking a bath in that place, they came to meet Maharaj Parikshit because they could foresee that Srimad Bhagavatam would be spoken by Sukadev Goswami. All of them wanted to take advantage of the great occasion. Om Aganyathmirandhyasya Gyanagana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmalitamyena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The translation: at that time, all the great minds and thinkers, accompanied by their disciples and sages, who could verily sanctify a place of pilgrimage just by their presence, arrived there on the plea of making a pilgrim's journey. This is a very powerful verse that is teaching us how to really take a serious association of the great minds and thinkers. Here, Srila Prabhupada, when he uses the word great mind and thinkers, he's referring to the pure devotees of the Lord, the gurus, the sannyasis, the devotees of the Lord who are so pure that they're very much detached from anything that's material. They only operate on a spiritual platform, on the transcendental platform. And wherever we find such great pure devotees, that place becomes tirtha, becomes a place of pilgrimage. Like we've had few senior devotees that have come and visit our temple, proper disciples, gurus, sannyasis, senior proper disciples. These are disciples that are directly initiated by Prabhupada. He was a pure devotee. And the gurus and the sannyasis themselves are pure devotees. Sometimes we cross the boundary of familiarity breeds contempt unknowingly. When we see this, when we are in the association of gurus and disciples, we take them for granted. We don't really see the potency of this pure great minds, thinkers, as Srila Prabhupada puts in the translation. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada is teaching us that when pure devotees go to places of pilgrimage, they are not making an excuse to just go and visit, like on a vacation. Let me just go visit this temple just to time pass. Or let me go just to visit this temple just to get a, R&R, as they call it, a rest and relax. No, they go to give us mercy. They may use it as an excuse, like Srila Prabhupada says here. No, but on the plea of taking a bath in the Ganga, they came to meet Maharaj Parikshit. We have present sannyasis and gurus and senior devotees of Srila Prabhupada, pure devotees of the Lord amongst us. And they may make an excuse or a plea, oh, I'm coming to come and visit you. And we might think, oh, wow, they're coming to visit me. No, we should think, wow, they're taking time out of the busy schedule to give me mercy, to give me blessings, to purify me, so that I can continue serving Srila Prabhupada's mission. Wherever pure devotees of the Lord goes, wherever unalloyed devotees of the Lord goes, that place becomes tirtha. And if you see, even in the verse, Srila Prabhupada is saying that common men like you and me, right? We go to so many holy places, whether it be Vrindavan, whether it be Mayapur, whether it be ISKCON Baltimore, whether it be ISKCON California, whatever temples there are, whether it be ISKCON Alachua, whether even ISKCON Harrisburg. All these temples are tirthas. And if we really see the meaning of tirtha, a tirtha is a holy place where the Lord is worshipped according to standards and procedures and protocols. Why do devotees go to holy places? Because they know that that is a holy place where the Lord is worshipped at the best standards. We don't do that in our homes. You will not, how we live in our personal homes, we don't live like that in the temple. The temple is always one step above, lack of a better word. It's supposed to be many steps above, but to compare it to a personal residence of ours, it's a step above. The temple is where we get spiritual education. The temple is a place of pilgrimage. The temple is a place where it's holy. Everything that is done there is of high standards. For example, in the temple, when we cook for the deities in the temple kitchen, we have a certain standard. We have a certain dressing. We have a certain mindset, right? In the temple kitchen, we wear saris and dress. We cannot wear, sweatpants and shirt like we do in our homes. In the temple, we have a particular uniform, as we call it. We come in dhoti kurta or kurta and pants. At home, we wear t-shirt and shorts. Temples of higher standard. At the temple, we have certain foods that we can and cannot cook. At home, we can cook anything that we want. even if it's a store-bought product. Like an ice cream we can eat, but in a temple we can't offer that. So the temple is a place of pilgrimage, not just the holy places in Vrindavan. Prabhupada says, when we leave the holy dhams in Vrindavan and Mayapur and go back to our home temples, we take Vrindavan and Mayapur back with us and bring it to the temple. So those of us who have visited the holy dhams in India, Vrindavan and Mayapur, when we come back, we should bring back Mayapur in our hearts. We should bring back Vrindavan in our hearts. And we make our temple that we are serving at Vrindavan and Mayapur. If we think about it, the temple in West Virginia, what's it called? New Vrindavan. Why? They have brought Vrindavan to US. They made it New Vrindavan. The temple in Baltimore, what's it called? Kulinagram. Why? Lord Jagannath from Orissa, right? Trying to think of one temple in California. I forgot what it's called. The Berkeley Temple. Not the Berkeley Temple. I forgot. There's one temple. Actually, Gitanagari. Right? The temple in Gitanagari, it's called Gitanagari, where the song of Gita was sung from India. Many ISKCON temples in North America, they have given a special name to add to the temple. Why? Because when we go to the holy places, we bring the mood back, and we do our very best to apply and imply and carry that mood in our home temple. That is the purpose of this holy pilgrimage. That is the purpose of this holy dham. That is the purpose why we have these holy places for a reason. And when pure souls, pure devotees of the Lord come to our temples, come to the holy places, they purify it even further. Prabhupada says so clearly in this verse, right? Common men like us, when we go to the pilgrimage sites, we get purified by our sins. Just think for a moment. So when these holy places are overburdened by our sins, the pure devotees of the Lord, the gurus, the sannyasis, the sages, the senior devotees, when they come and visit these holy places that have been overburdened by sins, what do? They purify the place again. Devotees, when they go to Vrindavan, they can't wait to dip themselves in Radhakund. When they go to Mayapur, they can't wait to take a bath in Ganga. Why? To purify their sins. And then we see pure devotees of the Lord, the gurus and sannyasis, going to the same Ganga and taking a bath there. And by their potency, they are purifying that Radhakund. The Radhakund in Mayapur, and in Vrindavan and Ganga and Mayapur. Can you imagine how much burden they're taking because of us? They're carrying a load on their shoulders. But they don't see it as load. They see it as pure mercy. They see it as mercy. They see it as blessings. So powerful. How fortunate are we? Therefore, when the sages, when they came to meet Maharaj Parikshit, they were not very interested in getting themselves purified like the common men. No, they were. They knew that the Srimad Bhagavatam is going to be spoken at this holy place by none other than Sukadev Goswami. They knew it, and they said, let me take advantage. So when pure devotees of the Lord, when they go to holy places, not are they only sanctifying the place by their presence, by taking the burdens of common men like us, our sins, but they are also taking advantage to see, wow, this Dham is a holy place. Sometimes I feel that we take our own temple for granted. We have to give it a moment. We have gurus coming. We had His Grace Kratu Prabhu, the 1st of January. Starting off the year, the 1st of January. Can you unmute, can you mute your speaker, please? Thank you. The 1st of January, the beginning of the year, we had a pure devotee of the Lord, of the Lord and pure devotee of Srila Prabhupada, His Grace Kratu Prabhu. Then 3 weeks later, we had Bhakti Vasudev Maharaj, another pure devotee of the Lord, a sannyasi. And few months before, we had Chandramali Swami. And a few months before, we had His Grace Vishnukada Prabhu. So many pure devotees of the Lord we're getting. Senior devotees of Srila Prabhupada. Why are they taking the time to come and visit our temple? We have to think. Are we taking advantage of their association? Are we becoming familiar with them? Are we behaving proper Vaishnav etiquette when we have gurus and sannyasis there in our midst? Like few days ago, and actually for the past few months, I've been noticing is whenever gurus and sannyasis, devotees come, they become so familiar with these pure devotees and the senior devotees that they put their hands on the shoulder. Too familiar. These are senior devotees, pure devotees of the Lord, proper disciples. We cannot even compare ourselves to them, but we become so familiar that we put our hands on their shoulder. Would we dare to put our hands on Prabhupada's shoulder? I don't think so. Because we are too familiar. We are forgetting the potency of the sannyasis. We are forgetting the potency of the gurus. When they come and visit the temples, they are taking an advantage. But do we see that advantage to our spiritual benefit? That's the million-dollar question. So when we get great devotees of the Lord coming to visit us, they see it as an advantage to serve us. Like when I was, whenever Kratu Prabhu comes, his mood is always, how can I serve this temple? Engage me in some service. You tell me, Anasuya, how can I serve your temple? You give me the topic. Same thing with Bhakti Vasudev Maharaj. When he came and he says, Anasuya, you tell me how I can serve your temple. I'm here to serve you and your temple and your congregation. If such pure devotees have that consciousness, then we should take advantage of that and say, how can I serve you? And not be familiar. I was reminded of Mahatma Vidur when he was sentenced out, banished from Hastinapur. He was very happy. He was so happy that he says, this is my opportunity to go on a pilgrimage and take as shelter of the pure devotees of the Lord. So he went on pilgrimage, and every special holy place he went, he asked the sages, how can I become a better servant of the Lord? We have to really, 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 really have this at the back of our minds. Whenever we have senior devotees come to our temple, whenever we have gurus and sannyasis visiting us, whenever we have gurus and sannyasis staying at our homes, we should always, always ask them, Maharaj, how can I become a better servant of the Lord and his devotees? How can I become a better devotee of Krishna's devotees? What do I have to improve on? Or how can I improve on this? How can I better myself in this? We should never ever think that we are free from faults. Actually, my spiritual master says, those who think that we are free from anarthas, they are the ones who have the most anarthas. I'll repeat that again. Those of us who think that we have no anarthas, we have no faults, we are the ones that have the most anarthas and a big false ego. So we should never think that we are free of faults. We should never think that we are free of anarthas. So when we have gurus staying at our homes, when we have gurus coming to our temples, we should always ask them, Maharaj, how can I become a better devotee of the Lord? How can I fight this anger? How can I fight this mind? How can I fight this greed? How can I fight this laziness? How can I become a better devotee, a better servant to Krishna's devotees? How can I serve you? How can I serve Prabhupada's mission? We should ask these questions. That's exactly what Vidur asked when he was banished from Hastinapur. He took advantage and says, I'm going to ask the sages how I can become a better devotee of the Lord. See, when we have pure devotees, when we have gurus and sannyasis coming to our temples and visiting us, it's very similar to Krishna's presence manifesting in them. We cannot take it for granted. So imagine, just for a split of a second, just for a moment, imagine, and I'm going to use these two pure devotees that we have, that has visited us this month. His Grace Krata Prabhu and His Holiness Bhakti Vasudev Maharaj. And yes, few months ago, we had Chandramali Swami and we had Vishnugada Prabhu. And we hope to see more sannyasis coming to visit us. But when we have this unalloyed pure devotees in our temple visiting us, staying at our homes, it is very similar to the Lord's presence perceived and manifested within these pure devotees. Can we imagine for a moment? I know that when, the past 2-3 times when Anuttama Prabhu stayed at my house, I was on pins and needles. Pins and needles. Because having Anuttama Prabhu in my house is having Srila Prabhupada in my house. Because he's Srila Prabhupada disciple. Direct disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Direct. What better opportunity? So, and to me, is having Anuttama Prabhu in my house is like having Srila Prabhupada. So, which means Srila Prabhupada is within Anuttama Prabhu, staying at my house. So, I better be on my, on guard. I better make sure there's no mistakes. I better be at my best behavior. I better be at my best language, you know, best food, best attire, everything, no slacking. That's exactly how we should behave when we have devotees of the Lord, pure devotees, gurus, sannyasis, senior devotees of Prabhupada visiting us. Because when they come and visit us, the Lord's presence is perceived and manifested by this devotee. And I'm going to quote Prabhupada, just as electricity is manifested in an electric bulb. Pretty powerful statement by Prabhupada. And these pure devotees of the Lord, they always feel the presence of the Lord everywhere. They are always, if we take a moment and we think, how many proper disciples here are still serving and traveling, inconveniencing their bodies and their health, their bodies and their health for our benefit? We have a little knee pain. We says, oh, I have to go for therapy. I'm out of service. We have back pain. We say, I cannot bend. Please excuse me for 1 week of service or 1 month of service. We have mental issues, mental problems, personal issues at the home. We says, I'm out of the altar service for time immemorial. Pure devotees don't do that. Whether they have health problems, whether they have any issues, they inconvenience their body. Like when Kratu Prabhu was here, the 1st of January, he came to our temple, he gave the class, he finished prasadam, he came up at 8:30 p.m. and gave the class in India. Why must he inconvenience himself? He'll say, you know what, it's 8:30 at night. I just gave a class at the temple in Harrisburg. I'm tired. I need my sleep. You guys wait for me tomorrow. He inconvenienced himself for his disciples. Because he knows, I feel the presence of the Lord everywhere. Same thing with Bhakti Vasudev Maharaj. We see it in all these gurus. We see it in all these Prabhupada disciples. They're traveling from one day to the next without a break. Because why? They see the presence of the Lord everywhere. And they can see the potency of the Lord in everywhere and in everything. We don't see it, but they see it. But when we are in the presence of such devotees, we should be surcharged. If we are not surcharged in the presence of these devotees, that means we are so covered up. It's like having a thick wall around, and even if we use an electric drill, it's not going to crack through the wall. When we have pure devotees of the Lord in our presence, we should be so surcharged by their presence that we are ready to fight the battle moving forward. But do we really take advantage of their presence? Are we surcharged? Are we surcharged by their atmosphere, by their presence, by their association that we says, you know what? I just had Anuttama Prabhu at my house for 3 days. I am so surcharged by his presence, by his example, by his lifestyle, that he's serving his guru. I am ready to fight and serve Prabhupada's mission till my last breath, no matter what. Do we have that? That's the $1 million question. Whenever we visit any holy place, any temple, whether it be in US, whether it be in any country or in India, we must search out the devotees of the Lord and take lessons from them. And not just take the lessons and then finish, close the book. No, We take the lessons and we apply it in our personal life so that we can gradually grow and prepare ourselves to go back to Godhead. We ask questions and then we close the book. We don't apply it. When we ask the question, we get the answer. We should apply it in our practical life so that we can grow in our Krishna consciousness and become better devotees of our spiritual masters, so that our spiritual master can offer us to Prabhupada and take us back to Godhead. Very, very important points here that Srila Prabhupada is translating in this, from the verse. Very, very important point. And we have to be very, very careful that we do not take the presence of these pure devotees for granted, becoming too familiar with them, asking them personal stuff, their personal lives. No, we should ask them, how can I become a better devotee? I remember a couple of years, and I had to correct one of this young boy. 3 years ago, when I went to New York Rath Yatra, and I was sitting and waiting for my ride back to Pennsylvania, and I was watching one of our youth in our temple talking to our GBC, Anutama Prabhu, like a friend, and put his hand on his shoulder. And I was shocked. I said, oh my God. Even I do not dare to come close to my GBC. I have to really ask him, can I come and speak with you? Familiarity breeds contempt. You have to be very careful that we really value the presence of these pure devotees of the Lord, and we do not take them for granted, because whenever a pure devotee of the Lord come in our presence, that surrounding, that atmosphere has been purified by their presence, and we should be surcharged by their presence, by the atmosphere, to say, yes, Maharaj, you have surcharged me by your presence, by blessing my house, by staying in my house, by making my humble home, purified by your presence. I am surcharged and I am ready to serve. We should feel that. If we do not feel that, that means we have taken their association for granted. If we are not surcharged by the presence of pure devotees of the Lord, by gurus and sannyasis and senior devotees, if we don't get surcharged, that means we have taken them for granted, and we really haven't valued their association and their presence. Very deep verse Prabhupada is speaking here. Very, very deep. I mean, imagine these pure devotees, wherever they go, they purify our overburdened sins. Well, when I read this verse and I read the word overburdened sins, and the pure devotees come to the holy places to purify our overburdened sins, I said to myself, oh my God, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. We are so fortunate, we're very, very fortunate. And sometimes I ask myself, do we really, really see and feel how fortunate we are? How fortunate we are. Every week, even on our Bhagavatam classes, we have senior devotees. We have proper disciples. Do we really see that as our good fortune? Do we really look forward to attending Bhagavatam classes? Look at these sages, right? Prabhupada said, on the on the plea of Maharaj Parikshit sitting on the river of Ganga, the sages came because they wanted to hear the Bhagavatam spoken by Sukadev Goswami. These are pure devotees of the Lord now. These are pure devotees of the Lord that were hankering to come to the holy place that has been overburdened by sins by common people, but yet they are eager to come to this holy place because they know, aha, the Bhagavatam is going to be spoken by Sukadev Goswami. Do we have that desire to hear Bhagavatam every morning? Very, very deep questions we have to ask ourselves. Lots of questions, lots of self-reflection to really ask ourselves, where is my desire to get up in the morning and hear Bhagavatam? Monday through Friday. How much am I surcharged by the presence of the pure devotees and senior devotees when they come to visit our temple, when they stay in my home? Or am I too familiar with them that I don't value their association? I don't value their presence because they have just purified my house. They've purified my house. Can we imagine that? Do we really see it? Or we just said, okay, I'm just hosting, I'm just cooking, I'm taking care. No, the pure devotee just purified your house. Very, very powerful points. This verse is very heavy, very deep and very heavy for us to really go deep in our sadachar, in our behavior, to really see, whoa, these pure devotees are so merciful. I should be surcharged by their presence. I should be eager to want to join morning classes to hear Bhagavatam, just as the sages were going to the holy places on the plea of Maharaj Parikshit, but they just wanted to hear Bhagavatam spoken by a pure devotee of the Lord. Very, very deep questions for us to ask ourselves this morning from this really, really deep verse. This is my reflections and my realizations from this really deep verse. A lot of deep messages from Srila Prabhupada, instructions from Srila Prabhupada, how to value pure devotees of the Lord, how to value gurus and sannyasis and senior devotees, how to take advantage of the association and not be familiar with devotees, how to be surcharged by their presence to continue the service for Srila Prabhupada's mission, and not to take devotees for granted, especially pure devotees. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Are there any questions or comments, takeaways, reflections? Please do share. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai.
Jai.
Holy obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for the lecture. Thank you for reminding us about the potency of pure devotees. You stressed that quite a bit, and we shouldn't take pure devotees for granted, become too familiar. And I think it boils down to devotees learning the sadachar, or the way we do things, the way we've been trained. The manual is there. His Holiness Bhakti Churu Swami talks so much about etiquette, and I think there should be the desire of the devotees to learn etiquette so that they don't make mistakes that, it would be kind of embarrassing sometimes, but they wouldn't even know. It reminds me of one part of Mahabharata when the Pandavas were in the forest. Then they met some Brahmins. They themselves were dressed like Brahmanas. But when the Brahmanas came towards the Pandavas with their mother, Mother Kunti at the time, the way Mother Kunti respectfully, at least in her mind, respectfully addressed the Brahmanas. One of the Brahmanas said, "It doesn't seem like you've been around Brahmanas very much."
Yes.
Yeah. He kind of made that the comment and left it at that. But that was because the Pandavas were Kshatriyas, and in the forest, the Brahmanas knew how to meet each other, knew what to say, what not to say, and what Kunti did, even though the intention was good, was slightly different from what Brahmanas expect. So it's always a situation of how to behave when a particular personality is there. It's nobody should be embarrassed by this particular statement because spiritual consciousness is an ongoing learning experience. We all go through and go through and go through and go through different situations that come up. It helps us to be better people. It helps us to be purified. So we should humbly begin to hear different ways and how to behave when different circumstances come. A very important point that you brought up. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. I remember one incident that happened with me. I was familiar with one spiritual master, and I got a smack on my hand for that. And I had to and I was reminded by my senior god sister that even though that's one thing she taught me, the pure devotee of the Lord, the gurus, the sannyasi, the senior devotees may be friendly with us, but we don't do that back. That's what she taught me. And that's exactly the mistake I did. This was in the 90s because they were this guru was friendly with me. So I thought, oh, I can be friendly too. No, she immediately corrected me. She goes, just because they are friendly with you, it does not mean that you become familiar with them. Their friendliness is their mercy and their blessing and their kindness, but we don't do that, also with them. So we still maintain the decorum. We still maintain the etiquette. And she corrected me right on my hand, and I will never forget that day. And since then, I mean, I am always very careful, because that was a hard smack I got. Hard smack. But it was a good smack. That's how we learn, we learn by being corrected. We learn by getting instructions from senior devotees. And we learn, by getting feedback. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was corrected by my senior, and I never did it again. And I'm always careful. I'm always careful. Any other takeaways from devotees? Please do share. We have 5 more minutes. Would like to hear takeaways. Yes, Dear Krishna Prabhu, please go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All grace to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for such a nice class and the importance of serving our spiritual masters. And one question, Mataji, I have is, so at least since last 12 years, I have been seeing so many spiritual masters coming and going. They come, they serve. Give me 1 second, Mataji.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem.
And yeah, I have the similar experience like you shared. Whenever any spiritual master comes in ISKCON, and we call them or we ask them, Maharaj, what would you like to speak about? So we can create the flyer or whatever.
Right.
I'm your servant. This is their reply. You tell me. Even the spiritual master, like even my direct spiritual master is telling
I
me
know.
that, right? So that's the mood they have, right? So their only purpose is to serve. My question is, when they come, they say so many things which are direct and some are between the lines. They think that we should be doing or they are instructing us. And they are doing it very politely, very compassionately, very lovingly. And we just hear and it's like I'm talking about myself. It's like we are putting water on the stone.
Mm.
It just washes away. Next time they come, they say the same thing. No change. So in that case, and I think I have seen this. I see when this happens repeatedly, Krishna makes the arrangement that we will not see them coming to us.
Very true.
So is that a true understanding, Mataji? Because I
Yes.
personally have experienced it.
I have experienced it too, Prabhu. Actually, for my spiritual master, very, very good point. Actually, what I have learned in my devotional practices for 30 years, Prabhu, when the Guru give the heavy instructions, we should take that. But the catch 22, as they say in America, is when they give instructions between the lines. That one we should never forget also. Because I think our conditioned minds are such, Prabhu, that, oh, this is the one where he blasted me. So I should definitely take that. But the other one, he just smiled and laughed through it. So I think it's not that important. No, that is the one that's even as important as the one that he blasted us. It's just that our minds are so, I don't know what to call it, Prabhu, but I can't find the right word, or I don't know how to phrase it. Probably my husband can help me, but our minds tend to be selective. Okay, the heavy ones, that's the real deal.
Yeah, always, not sometimes. It's always.
Exactly. But the ones that he, but the ones he speaks, but he's smiling or laughing, okay, he was joking. And so I don't think it's that, but that is the one where we need the most work in. I have seen. But also I have seen, Prabhu, that after a while, when we don't take those instructions seriously, guess what? The door of mercy closes. It
Yeah,
closes.
yeah.
I have completely have experienced that. It literally closes because why? We have taken that guru for granted.
Mm,
When we take it, when we take them for granted, it's offense.
mm,
So when it's an offense, the door closes. Because Krishna doesn't want his devotee to continue to be more offended. You know, like I asked Mother Geeta a few weeks ago, because I had this thing in my mind for some time and I didn't quite know whether it was or wasn't. So I asked her and she says, taking devotees for granted as the beginning stages of Vaishnav aparat. So when a spiritual, this is what is speak a purely voice of Lord Prabhu, like a guru. So when the guru gives instructions and we don't take it, whether it's the heavy blasting or the in-between lines, and they keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating, and we don't listen because we take it for granted, which is an offense, the mercy of the door will close. It
yeah,
happens.
yeah. And
And if who loses it out? We lose out.
hmm,
Because they will go, they'll go to a different place where they're needed. Prabhu, you know, I remember very clearly my spiritual master, he was banging and banging and bagging instructions to us for 10 years. And at one point, this was, I think, a couple of years before he left his body. At one point, he says he gave a class. And Prabhu, get this, it was the most embarrassing point was he gave the class in a Sunday feast program where we had guests in the class. I mean, we had guest people, first time coming, and he was blasting and telling us, I am sick and tired of all of you not growing. I am sick and tired of repeating the same instructions and none of you are growing. I don't think I need to be a GBC in this temple. I think I'll go to Russia because they will take my instructions and they will take it seriously, and you guys are just jokers. And we were like, oh my God, he's going
wow.
to move to Russia. Yes, Prabhu. He literally said that. Record it.
And
Recorded, Prabhu.
yeah, I mean, it's so sad. I mean, I can imagine all spiritual masters going through the same, including my
Yes.
same frustration. We are not listening.
Yes.
I had an experience like one devotee came to meet Guru Maharaj here when he was in Reading a couple of years back. I will not name the name of the devotee.
Sure.
And Maharaj I mean, they know, right, who is what, and
Yes.
he knew what he's up to in in the back door. And he said, Maharaj, please give me some instruction. I said, no, you're good, you're perfect, you're doing very good. You're very nice with his very cute smile. No,
Right, right, right.
you don't need any instruction. I said, no, Maharaj, please, 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 please. So Maharaj said, yeah, you should go regularly to temple. And this is he should go temple regularly. And this devotee, I know what he was up to, and then his face was blank
It shrunk.
because he shrunk out of. So, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because that's now you're making aparad. So when Guru says you're
Yes.
good, then analyze yourself. Don't push him to give you the instruction. Then, if you're not ready to take the instruction.
Right. See, Kratu Prabhu could have said that and just stuck, but he pushed him. So it's okay.
Yes.
You want to hear it? You push me. I'm going to tell you. But if you don't follow it, it's an aparad because you pushed
Because
me.
he
You must
knew
get it.
he knew he won't accept it, so why so
Exactly.
that's a compassionate that if
Yes.
I was it was me, I would be frustrated and I would have said anything to that devotee, but he was so compassionate that don't push me because you will end up making the offense. I will say something, you will not. It's not that I'm saying I'm pure, it's Krishna's science. That a devotee is saying something and he will not accept, that's aparad.
It
So
is.
that blew my mind, like how beautifully he handled it, and but he couldn't help it in the end. He had to. The devotee
Absolutely,
was asking
Prabhu.
for it, what to do.
Yeah.
And
And the
before
thing
we
is, after
know,
a while, we
yeah,
lose the mercy.
yeah,
After a
and I
while,
could see
Prabhu,
before we know, before we realize, the spiritual life goes down.
it
So
goes
that's a,
down.
and we think we are good. We are good.
Exactly.
Can I
Prabhu, but
quickly
I, I,
share
I
something
have,
about His Holiness Bhakti Tirth Maharaj? I just heard a day before, if you allow me for a
please.
minute. I mean, just to even think of how glorious these spiritual masters are that we have got. So one devotee was sharing this pastime when His Holiness Bhakti Tirth Maharaj was in his end days, the of his pastimes. So His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj went to see him. I mean, you will know it better, I'm sure.
But please say,
I just
please
want to
say it,
share
Prabhu.
because I want to purify myself. So Maharaj said, so Kirtan was happening and Maharaj was enjoying as usual. And because of his health, he couldn't participate. Radhanath Maharaj was on the side of his bed. And then suddenly Maharaj was ecstatic and he told Radhanath Maharaj, Maharaj, no matter who we are, where we came from, what was our past, I can say confidently in the moment of Srila Prabhupada, we have made it. So he could see that vision. And this is just, I think, few minutes before, or I don't know how much before he really left.
It
So
was,
at that
yes, it
time,
was actually few days before,
few
in
days
that
before,
in the same week though, but it
hmm,
was like 3, 4 days before he stopped talking. Yeah.
and in the scriptures, it comes that in the end days of his life, nobody will say lie, because
Yes.
especially when he knows that he's leaving.
Yes.
Meaning is that he got that vision that he's
Yes.
going to the destination Srila Prabhupada wanted all of us to go.
Yes.
So, and he could share that. What a great mercy, living proof. So that
Completely.
blew my mind. Like what we have got, no matter whether they are still in on the planet or whether they have left, that mercy is still flowing.
Completely, Prabhu.
Thank you,
Thank you
Mataji,
for
for allowing
sharing
me to
that.
share that. Hare Krishna.
Beautiful, because I'm so glad and happy that you shared that because I forgot that past time. So many things happened during that few months that he was, sick in Gitanagari. But yes, that happened few days before he left. And you're right, they gave their lives. Every guru is giving their life. Every sannyasi, every senior devotee, proper disciples, they're giving their lives up until the last breath. Do we value their association?
Yeah.
Are we taking it for granted? Like this devotee that you were saying. At first, he asked Katu Prabhu, and at the end, he pushed him. Okay, you're pushing me, I'm going to tell you. But he didn't follow through, so which means he made an offense. You
And
know,
no matter this devotee is rolling all over the place now, I could see that he's
yeah.
going everywhere, no focus, no fixed, in spite of being in this exposure to Srila Prabhupada for last 10, 12 years. He's
Yep.
going everywhere, even outside the
Everywhere.
ISKCON. Yeah.
That's and once they make an offense, they lose the mercy. They lose the blessing because Krishna says, if you offend my devotee, you've offended me. So
Mm.
where is I mean, what's the hope? That's why I personally, like, some devotees of disciples of Chandramali Swami, they used to send me messages and ask me, oh Mataji, Chandramali Swami, likes your class, likes you to host, and he's so blah 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 blah. Because when, and Maharaj is always friendly to me, always joking and kidding. But I always check myself because I know that slap I got in 1990 something. He's still my spiritual master. He's still my Shiksha Guru. He's still my guru's god brother. I'm not going to break the rule and be friendly to Maharaj. It's his mercy. Chandramani Swami is friendly with me because it's his mercy. He's literally showing me mercy because I need the mercy and the blessings, but we cannot take it for granted. And that's why when pure devotees, gurus come, proper disciples come, senior devotees come, we should be very careful what to ask for. Dear Krishna Prabhu,
Yeah, yeah.
seriously.
Just to make sure I clarify myself. I mean, I
Please.
really don't. I'm not nobody to comment on that devotee. But the reason I brought it up because it gave me a great lesson that
Yes.
when spiritual masters are around, I should be very careful about what I'm asking or what I am, pushing them for. Am I
Yes.
ready or not? So that was a
Abs-
great lesson for me.
oh,
But
yes. Ready.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yes.
nobody to, whatever the devotee wants, it's his free will, right? So, but
Yep.
at this, yeah,
But
great
it's
lesson
a
for us.
learning lesson. It's a learning lesson for us to be very careful how we treat a guru, our behavior, our sadachar, our etiquette. Are we surcharged by their presence? Are we ready to take instructions? Do we value their presence? Because when they come, they bring Krishna, they bring Prabhupada with them. It's not just alone, they
Oh, I
come with an
mean,
entourage.
this personal association is absolutely required and invaluable. No,
Completely.
no, no, no comparison. So much purification happens. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
Hari.
you, Prabhu.
And one quick thing when we are talking, like my Guru Maharaj once said, you know what, dear Krishna, even when, I mean, of course, so humble, he said, whenever Yamraj will come to, I Maharaj, Yamraj is not coming to take you, it will be Vishnu Dutas. I don't care. Even if Yamraj comes to me, I will tell him, give me 1 more hour, I want to do one more class to preach.
Oh my gosh.
I was
See?
like, I couldn't say anything for 1 hour to him. These are
Wow.
the spiritual masters Srila Prabhupada has given to us.
You see, Prabhu, they are living, actually, they are living on borrowed time. And we take them for granted. We really take them for granted. And I mean, I'm speechless. But yeah, they're living on borrowed time. See? Jagataka Swami is living on 12 to 14 years borrowed time. Kratu Prabhu is saying, okay, give me 1 more hour to give class, then you can take me. I mean, what more do we need? Do we really value and appreciate the presence of such elevated, pure devotees of the Lord? We have to really take our Krishna consciousness very, very seriously and really listen to all the instructions, whether it's coming from our Diksha Guru or another spiritual master, it doesn't matter because all the gurus are one. They
That's
are.
anyway another topic, another problem. I don't want to say anything. Thank you, Mataji.
But the thing is, Prabhu, all gurus are one, right? It's the one Guru Tattva. That's only one Guru Tattva. There are not millions, one Guru Tattva. All gurus are one. Whether it's our Diksha or whether it's another spiritual master, the same thing. Like for
Absolutely.
me, my Diksha Guru has left his body 2005, but I still get instructions from Chandramali Swami. I get instructions from Bhakti Marg Swami. I get instructions from Anuttama Prabhu. Do I say, oh, you know what? I'm not listening to you guys? No, I can't.
Mm.
It's all one. So we had to be very careful about that we don't be selective and what's the word? Separate. Okay, my guru didn't tell me, you told, so I'm not going to listen to you. That's also good. That's also guru aparad.
Right.
Very, very deep. Very, very deep. The science of Krishna consciousness, Vaishnav etiquette, and Sarachar is very deep. Very, very deep. Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing wonderful
Hare
points.
Krishna, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
I know we passed the 9 o'clock mark, but this is a very deep discussion, very important discussion, very important that we all really meditate on this, the presence of spiritual masters walking on the face of this planet. Walking, it's just beautiful, beautiful. Sometimes when Ananda Mahaprabhu comes to my house and he walks, I think, oh my God, is Prabhupada walking behind him? I said, Prabhupada must be right behind him, walking on this banisters, going up my steps. Like, I have those thoughts because they bring Prabhupada with them. They really do. When Bhakti Swami, which I'm sure my husband can remember, 1996, when he came to Gitanagari in 1996 at the time to spread the centennial, of ISKCON, and Bhakti Swami told all of us, when Bhakti Swami comes, Prabhupada is coming with him. Treat him like how you treat Prabhupada. I mean, we had the instructions strictly. So that's why, when I have Prabhupada disciples stay in my house, I feel, oh wow, Prabhupada is right behind them. I gotta be in my best behavior. And our house gets blessed by their presence. Do we really understand the depth of the presence of these pure devotees, or we just take it for like, oh, I'm just hosting them as a guest? Very, very careful.
That is so true, Mataji. Whenever Guru Maharaj he comes, and even when His Holiness Bhakti Vasudev Maharaj was here, different energy. No doubt, no matter how much we are tired, it's morning to evening, it's such a blissful day. No matter we have to manage our work, serve them, take care of all the chores, but still, it's a different energy, different vibration.
Completely, completely. There's a sharing by Damodar, and then we'll end. I'm just going to read his post. He says, Hare Krishna Dandavat Pranam Jai Ashur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nice recitations and pastimes. Spending time with His Holiness Bhakti Vasudev Maharaj was like serving my Guru Maharaj. Thanks to ISKCON of Harrisburg for mercifully letting me serve Maharaj. More to come, Damodar. Just the beginning. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining us. Vanchakrapdibhyascha, Kripasindhabevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
And have a wonderful day.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.